Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about shingles. So my mom, who was 64, recently suffered from it, and it was really tough for her. When she first noticed a few bumps, like I didn't know it was shingle. I didn't even know what shingle was. I suggested because I have experience with cold sore. Whenever I hear bumps on skin, I'm like, I think you should just try to put ginseng on it, because I had cold sore, and I just any bump on my body that is blistery, or it's kind of itchy, like I just put ginseng on it. So it's a remedy that I know of to prevent like things like that from spreading. Unfortunately, she didn't listen. She didn't believe in it. She didn't use it right away, and then the rash then started to spread all over her chest, under her armpit, and to her backside. And then she was really suffering, and then she eventually saw a doctor who provide lycodene patches for her for the pain. But I found out that lycodene patches are just like numbing patches. They don't address the underlying viral replication that is due to the virus nature of the shingles. So at that point, I then asked my sister to help, and together we applied ginseng to the affected areas. So I I felt like the shingle, when I read about it, is very similar to cold sore. It's pretty much a very similar virus. And so given my experience, I thought it might work for the shingles, and it did. The shingle lesions, especially like the less stubborn one, there are like more stubborn one that have like a lot more pus and stuff. And so the ones that are less stubborn, it like died down pretty much like overnight. It started to heal really quickly. The larger areas like under her arm and her back area, there are some like really pussy area. That one took a few days. But it still responded really well to the ginseng, and it seemed to speed up the scabbing and the healing process far more, um, than I think if we didn't put it on and just use the lycodene patches, because I don't think the lycodene patches will address this issue. And so this experience solidified my belief in using ginseng to treat like viral skin issues. While it didn't alleviate the deep nerve pain that my mom experienced, she actually said like it felt like tight, like it feel like something hard whenever she pressed on her chest. It just feel hard. And then she also had aches, like she even described the aches as like aches to the bones. And so that it didn't like help. But so the aches and the nerve pain that my mom experienced didn't help, but it did help in the halting the virus replication and the spreading and the healing process. So actually I was gonna do this video like before, like a week ago, when the whole ordeal was over, and my mom started to go back to work. But then I didn't get to it. And then today my mom told me that for the nerve pain, like she went to an acupuncture and they put needles on her back and like her arms, and then they ran something through it. She mentioned it's kind of like some electricity something, but then it made her feel like all tingly, and now the aches are gone. And so that is a route that you can look into for the nerve and the aches if you get to that point. And so I'm sharing this in hopes that if anyone is suffering from shingle, you might try ginseng as part of your treatment. And then for reference, I'm going to post the link to this video that I made a while back. This is like a year ago, and it like chronicles like my experience treating cold sore with it, and why I started to look into that type of treatment. And so, and I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice, but it is from my experience. And so, and I don't think the doctors really know about this. They just, oh yeah, the doctor did prescribe my mom antiviral, so maybe together, the topical and the antiviral, it helped somehow. But I know for sure Cosor, it worked even without any antiviral medication. Okay, so I wanted to go through this link, so to kind of like show you what happened to me. So I actually, through this through like the 2023 January-ish, it actually happened to me twice. And so on the 19th, I had it on my lip and I dab on it, and you can see on the 20th, it kind of healed already. There was a scab already. And then on the 26th, it started to go to my nose, and it was a lot of like blister stuff like that. I dab, oh, where am I? Yeah, and then I dab it on, and then, I was talking about, and so I dab it on like this, and then on the 27th, you can already see, and this is actually what I see with the less stubborn, her shingles on my mom, like her. So imagine this is my mom's back. So there's this area right here near her shoulder blade that is really, really bad. That part took a few days, like 4 days or something. But then there's a part like all over the rest of it that has like just little blister, like a lot of them, but just scattered across, and that died down like the next day. So what I saw with my mom is really similar to what I saw with my experience back here. And you can, I actually just had it recently too, and I used it and it went away quickly too. And then, this is in the same video, I linked to like some literature that I found that support what I see, that these the ginsenoside in the ginseng really inversely impact the anti-proliferation potential of the compound, like stop it from replicating. So if you're over 50, one of the advice that I would like to give to you is to talk to your doctor about the shingle vaccine so that you can avoid going through what my mom did. And there are shingles vaccine available. But if I were you, I ask your doctor to confirm that it's a non-live vaccine. Personally, I just wouldn't want a vaccine containing even like a weakened or incapacitated virus in my system. I just don't want it. I don't, yeah. And so lastly, if you do try ginseng and it helps, please share your experience with other people, especially those in the medical field. I believe further research into ginseng could lead to its use in more like treatments, including cancer. And in this video, like I mentioned, I linked to the literature for it. And so I thought about how it might be used, like, during surgeries to prevent cancer cells from spreading. I had my mother-in-law died due to pancreatic cancer, and so did my brother-in-law. And my brother-in-law's case was actually very special because he was in stage 2, and they thought that it was really small, and that is a great like candidate for surgery. However, right after surgery, it turned into a stage 4. And so I couldn't help but think that when they were doing surgery, because the blood were flowing, the virus actually replicated and pretty much spread because he had surgery. And so I couldn't help but I couldn't shake that feeling off of my mind, and see me knowing how like easily spreadable these stuff are. Like I just can't, like I just think like the surgery was what made it go from a stage 2 to a stage 4. And so I was like, when I think about this, I'm like, what if they had some kind of spray to spray and coat the other areas with ginseng, so that when they actually do the surgery, even if it doesn't spread to other like nearby area, then he would have had a successful surgery and probably wouldn't have died. And so I kept on feeling that that might be a good like addition to surgery. Not even to say if it's like a small area that is affected, maybe they can just go in, apply this the ginseng. If it can be used internally, I think it can be used internally, but more studies have to be done, and for studies to be done, this knowledge needs to be made known. And so if you take like I if you take ginseng and you apply it to the cancerous area and like do what I do out externally, but internally, wouldn't that be a solution to cancer? So all of that is to say that I've often thought about how it might be able to be used during surgeries to prevent cancer cells from spreading, and then it could even use maybe treat cancer, um, and not even requiring surgery or chemotherapy. So I hope all of this makes sense, and I hope sharing my mom's experience and my experience can help others with shingles or cold sores, and maybe even contribute to new ways of treating cancer in the future. But also, it depends on you to try it out if you have it and spreading the word. Thank you. Bye.